So guys, these two configuration files are very important to understand. So people have question like we have F5 in HA. What configuration will get sync and what configuration will not get sync? So when I say that if I change any configuration related to virtual server pool, snat, monitor, which is present, which is a part of bigip.conf. So there are two important files which you need to understand. One is bigip.conf and another one is bigip underscore base. So bigip underscore base is the configuration file which configures your VLANs, your interfaces, self IPs, and your HA settings like device group, device trust. So all the configuration objects present in this file, it will get automatically sync. This is very important. But any objects which are present on this file, bigip underscore base.conf, will not get automatically sync. No automatic sync. So config.bigip.conf will contain virtual server, pools, NAT, and monitor. So all the configuration will get automatically sync. Either you do automatic sync or manual sync. Whenever you do anything, if you sync this device F5, all the configuration will get automatically sync. But whatever configuration is present on base config, so base config can be your VLANs, so all the network tab. So when you go to local traffic, you will find network tab. In network tab, you will find VLANs, you will find interface, you will find self IPs, and some settings related to HA. This will not get automatically sync. So this is very important. You need to understand these two files. And one license file is also there, which will, so your license files will be present on your bigip.license. So what I will do is, let me go into my F5 device and let me show you. So all the configuration related to virtual server, policies, profiles, iRoles, all are part of bigip.conf. So how to see what are present in bigip.conf, with which directory this is present? I will log in, I will delete this, and I will clear this. So you will go to run util bash, and this is the Linux command. You will see present working directory. So I will do cd. So here I will go to cd/config. Then I will run ls-l, and you will see these files. Can you see this bigip underscore base, bigip.conf? Bigip.conf will contain all the configuration related to virtual server. So this will contain your virtual server configs, your pool config, your monitors, your snat, everything is configured under this. So you can see what are the configuration. Let me show you. So I will open this directory. I will run this. I will run this command cat bigip.conf. Can you see this? All. So what are the config? Let me show you. You can see all the configuration which is present. Can you see this? All the virtual server NAT, policies, pool, iRules, all are coming under this. So this all comes under your this file. You can take snapshot and you will run this. Just give me 1 minute. So you can just run this. So all because F5 is having Linux flavor. So if someone is good in Linux, you must know the command like how to review contents. So cat, then file name will help you to see to read the contents. So guys, now another question is people have question like you are an F5 engineer, okay? You are F5 engineer and you need to do some changes, critical changes on F5. But you are getting when you log in into F5, let me log in through GUI. Here, let's say you are getting changes pending. Let me do something. So let me change here into what I will do is I will change something like I will add server SSL here. Let's say by mistake someone forgets to do synchronize. I have done some changes on active box, but I did not get synchronize. But as a new engineer, let's say I am Ram and then Raju comes and he has to do some changes, but he says, oh, it's showing me changes pending. So what are the changes previous engineer has done, right? Whenever you do any changes, so let's say whenever you do any changes, any new changes, let's say this is very important. Whenever you do any changes, what is the first condition? Your F5 box should be in sync, right? Because I don't know what another engineer has done. It can cause outage if it is does not get sync. So whenever you are doing any changes or you are having your engineers or you are a manager, you should say to your engineers, whenever you do any changes on F5, box should be in sync after that. Suppose if someone miss, what happens? If someone miss doing configuration sync, so what will happen? How I will see what he has done? Let's say now I go to F5 and I do not know what changes has been done. So they were in that case, this file would be handy. So what you will do is I will go to F5 1, I will go to F5 2, and I will take bigip.config output. From here, I will take bigip.config output from here, and I will compare using Notepad++. So how to take this file? You can use WinSCP. Then I will go here in Notepad++. Let me open this and I will use this option. So there is option to compare. So you will go here, just give me 1 minute. There is one option to compare the files in Notepad++ and you need to compare those files. So maybe it's this version I'm not getting, but there is an option to compare two files and it will show you the differences. So that is how you compare it. And you will see what are the changes present in this and what are the changes present in this. So that you will understand what changes were done this and you can sync it after that. That is always a recommended option. So this was related to bigip.conf and bigip.baseconfig. This is very, very important. Again, I'm saying you can take the snapshot. This is exam point of view or interview point of view. People will ask this file. Now, another important concept which comes into picture is what is running config and what is load. Suppose I have an F5 box and I have done some changes using CLI. Okay. In GUI, let's say in GUI, whenever you do any changes, you do not need to run this command or you do not need to save anything. But using CLI, when you do any changes using CLI, you need to run this command after that. So that after reboot also your configuration is present in RAM. That is what is defining in this presentation. So how to store the configuration? So you need to run this command save sys config. So what I will do is I will go to F5 and I'm into standby. Let me log in into my active or let me show here. So what I will do, I will go to TMSH and I will run this command. Let's see what happens. Can you see this? It is saving my running config. What is there in running config? See bigip.conf, bigip underscore base, and one is bigip.user. Can you see this? This is very, very important. Whenever you do any changes on CLI, you should run this command. Save sys config. Very, very, very important. No one will tell you. Okay, guys. Now, what is the other concept? Suppose I will show you this command load sys config. So I need to load something, right? Suppose I have 100 virtual server. My condition is, guys, I have 100 virtual servers configuration. Okay. I have a plan, implementation plan, and I have 100 virtual server configuration in Notepad. Okay, someone has prepared and I need to load it. I do not want to load it using GUI. I don't want 100 virtual servers should be configured through GUI. So in that case, I can run this command load sys config. Let me show you. My use case is, what is my use case? I want to configure 100 virtual servers in 5 minutes. Can I do using GUI? No, it will take 100 minutes or 200 minutes. So what will be helpful? So I will use a solution called CLI and I will run this command load sys config from terminal merge. Can you see this? You can enter n number of configuration here. Let's say I have a configuration present in my notepad. Let's say I have VS1. Let's say I have VS2 configuration. Let's say I have VS3 configuration. Let's say I have VS4 or VS5. I need to paste this. I need to select it and I will go here and I will just load it. Just give me 1 minute. So because right now I do not have any configuration, what I will do is load sys config because this will not take. Let me do copy. Let me so see. So once you paste it, it's wrong configuration because I right now I do not have. Let me do one thing. Let me do WinSCP, or I do not need to run WinSCP also. Just guys, give me 1 minute. So Control C to cancel. What I will do is I will go to run util bash Control L. I'll do cat big IP dot conf. So let me take some configuration. Okay. Let me take some virtual server configuration. Let me change something and I will show you. So this is helpful. This command is helpful when you need to do bulk configuration together. Let me take this in my notepad. I will do Control C and I will paste here. Let's say I have this configuration and I will copy paste this 100 times. I have prepared this configuration of my F5. Okay. So I need to paste it together. So using GUI, it will take many time. You need to configure manually everything. But I need to paste this 100 configuration together of my virtual server. That I will do Control A, Control C, and I will run this command load sys. So I will go first into TMSH mode. I will run this load sys config from terminal merge. Then I will enter. What I will do is copy and see. Now what I will do is what I will do is Control D to submit, Control C to cancel. If something is mistake, you can do Control C if you are not sure, or if you are sure this is correct configuration, you can just do Control D. Can you see this? Loading configuration. It has loaded. It did not given any other, and now I need to save it. So let's see what happens. I will go into my virtual server. So right now, it generally, because it is the same configuration, so generally it took only one whip because I copied one whip, but I need to copy two configuration using CLI. So what I can do is I can change the IP address here. Let me show you. Okay, let me configure two virtual server using CLI using this command because it was same whip, so that's why it did not took and it merged. So what I will do is let me create 80 whip. So I will change here and change the name. That's it. Let's see. I will copy. I will run, go to CLI and I will run load sys config from terminal merge. I will copy. Let's Control D and I will save this. Now let's see. Can you see this? Quickly I created two virtual server. Now I have one more virtual server. Okay. Let's say I have one more virtual server. So I will just copy this. I will copy this template and I will change this port to 21. So what will happen? I will do Control A and I will go again to CLI. Quickly I will run this command load sysconfig from terminal merge. I will just Control D, save sysconfig. Let's see. So can you see this? 21 has come now. Port 80 did not come. I need to check that why port 80 did not come. But see, I've configured one FTP and one 443. It has came. So that is how you can load your configuration. If you want to do multiple configuration and you have less time, you need to run this command. So you can run this. So this is the command to load configuration on F5. That is very, very important, guys. Now let's see another concept of backup and restore. Let me jump. So guys, now another topic which is very, very important, how to take backup of F5 box. So guys, in this case, first of all, why to take backup? In which cases, in which scenario I need to take backup of F5 box? So answer is whenever you are doing critical changes, you need to take backup. So what are the critical changes? So let's discuss about critical changes. So backup of F5 needed in which cases? First, when you are doing any upgrade, when you are doing any critical changes like license renew, or you need to do some reboot of boxes, planned reboot of F5, or let's say I need to do some bulk configuration. So in these cases, backup is needed. So this is very, very important, like how to take backup. So first use case is whenever you are doing back F5 upgrade, or whenever you are doing license renew, or whenever you are rebooting any configuration, or whenever you are doing any bulk configuration. In that case, backup is required. Okay, guys. So now, what is the file which is used for backup? Let me now talk further steps on backup, like how to take backup. How to take backup of F5 box. So first concept is called UCS. So this is the file where backup is present. So it's called user configuration set. So all the files are stored under this backup. Like virtual server, all the configuration is present in under this file. So UCS is called user configuration set. So in this, all the configuration related to backup is present. So what things others configure in this? So UCS will save configuration. So what does it contain? So we know that how to take backup, you need to take UCS file. First, let's say how to take backup. Let's see using GUI and CI. How to take backup of F5 using CLI and using GUI. So let's go. So I will go here. I will delete this. Just give me 1 minute. I need to first sync it. So let me sync the configuration. So in this case, how to take backup using GUI is you need to go to System tab, you need to go to Archive. Let me delete previous one. Just give me 1 minute, guys. So my question is how to take backup using GUI. So in this case, you need to go to System tab, then you need to go to Archive, and then you need to go and create one file. So you will go and click UCS backup. I'm just repeating again. UCS backup of F5 using GUI. So you will go to System, then Archive, then Create. So I will create. I will give name as sia.ucs. So there are two things here. One is private keys and one is encryption. So what is the difference between them? Encryption means I can apply password to that file. But in that case, there is disadvantage. Suppose you enabled password and your engineer and you are not there. You are gone to the leave and you only know the password of that file. But some outage came and he needs to restore it. So you should know the password. So password should be set carefully so that it can be handled to the team. But because when you take backup, you need to restore also, right? So when you restore UCS, it will ask for password if this option is enabled. So this is also one of the important things which you need to take care. So I will delete this. And what is private key includes? Private key will include all the configuration related to SSL keys. So this is very important. You don't need to, by default, it includes it. So that's all. So I will finish it. So see what is given. So by default, here is the UCS file. So it is stored in slash where. This is also an exam and interview question. By default, where the UCS file is stored. So it is stored in where local UCS. This is the directory where it is stored. And it's giving the file name. That's it. So what I will do, I will press OK. And it's always recommended to keep this file on your local desktop. Because suppose this box is offline and it's not coming up, then UCS should be stored in local laptop or remote server. This is very, very important. UCS file should be stored. UCS file should be stored somewhere in local desktop because this F5 device goes down, this UCS will also go down, right? Your device is not coming up. So but you need to restore it. You need to configure it newly. In that case, if you don't have UCS backup, it's very, very difficult. So in that case, how to store it? So you will click on this and you need to download it in your desktop. So that is important one. You have a UCS file, but your F5 box goes down and you do not have UCS backup. Your new box will come up, your RMA, you have done RMA, your new box has come up and you need to configure it from scratch. If you don't have UCS backup, then it's very, very, very difficult. So that's why it's recommended to use this option. It will save your UCS to local desktop. Now let's see how to take backup. We have seen through GUI how to take backup using CLI. So I will go to CLI on F5 box and I will run this command save sysucs. Then I will give the file name. I will give skilled inspirational academy. Let's see what happens. That's it. You just need to run this command save sysucs, then file name. So can you see this? It is giving you the directory where local UCS and file name. Let me go. It's always recommended to take backup. If F5 is present on HA, you need to take backup of both the boxes. Let me delete this and I will go here and let me see if that has come here on GUI or not. I will go to archive. So it was big IP2. Let me come into big IP2 and let me come into archive. So can you see this? Skilled Inspirational Academy is present. That is the command. So I'm just running this command save sysucs and you can give the file name. Venkat, or you can give any name. When you can give the name 10th March. That's it. So that you can remember it when the backup was taken. Now, another thing is there is another concept which is called SCF. So, what is the difference between UCS versus SCF? So, both are used for backup, but in which scenario you will use UCS, in which scenario you will use SCF. But before that, I need to first tell you, I will like how to restore this configuration. Okay. Now my scenario is, let me give you the scenario. So I have a scenario. I have an F5 box and this box got down due to power outage. And after power outage, F5 box is not coming up. So what you will do? Now in that case, your customer is shouting. So answer to this is you will configure new F5 box from scratch. But what is the challenge? You can configure IP, network and all because you know the topology. But question is, do you know how many virtual server were present in previous box? How many pools were present? What was the configuration of NAT? What was the configuration of SNAT? What was the configuration for health monitor? Are we aware of that? So in this case, answer is you should have UCS backup in your desktop, because anyways, if you do not have UCS backup, it will not work, right? Because you need to configure your F5 box from scratch. You should have UCS backup in your desktop. So now the concept is how to restore it. So how to restore your original configuration on F5. So let's talk through GUI and CII. So I will delete this. I will go to F5. What I will do is, let me go to ActiveBox. I will delete all the configuration. Before deleting, I am just taking my UCS backup again. I'm doing some changes. I need to delete some virtual servers and pool member. But this is the critical change. So I will take some UCS backup, which is virtual server. I will give name virtual server deletion. And I will finish it. I will save this, download it into my PC, and it is present on my downloads. So what I will do is, now I will go to virtual server. I will delete everything. I will delete pools also. It's saying that it cannot be deleted. So see, virtual server is deleted. I will remove iRules, some iRules. I will go here and delete policies. I'm deleting some of the configuration, and let's see how to restore using UCS. Now I will go to pool and let's try to delete this. So guys, my virtual, so what is the scenario? By mistake, I deleted virtual server. Virtual server is deleted. My pool is deleted. And another is iRule. So I've deleted all this. Now I need to restore. I need to restore using UCS. So how I will do? I will go into my system tab. I will go to again into archive. I will select this and I will just say restore. So see, it's saying that status will be updating. Let's see if my virtual server will come again or not. Give them only 1 minute. It will restore. So guys, can you see this? I have virtual servers. I have pools. So can you see this? all my configuration as present. This is how you restore your F5 box. So that's what was showing in this output. And if I need to restore using CLI, you can use this command. Load sys UCS. So save sys UCS is used to save box configuration on F5. But if you want to restore, you should run this command. Load sys UCS and file name. Let me show you how to restore now using CLI. We have seen through GUI. Now let me come into CLI. I will go into CLI and this is the command. Load sys UCS. Then I will give, let's say I need to restore this. I will just run this. So this is how, so see, it will install all my configuration, all my license file. So UCS will contain all your configuration file, license file, and your big IP user configuration. So UCS will contain configuration file, your license file, your SSL, and everything. So it will take some time.